Oh, hang on. I think we've got Patrick Coyle.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you? You're live on Freedom Talk Radio with Kevin. We are Change.
Uh-huh.
So
You all right, Patrick?
Well, Kevin, how are you?
How are you, mate? You all right?
Oh, no.
Well,
I wish I wasn't in this situation.
Yeah, no, I know.
Kevin, what's the crack with can we face out the 2 letters on the commercial lien, can we?
What's that, sorry?
You know the last 2 letters you issue on the commercial lien? A rebuttal?
Yeah.
Can they be finished off? Can they be sent?
Yeah, well, I didn't... do you know what it was? We actually issued them with a misconduct in public office, and I just gave them a little statement of truth, which was like basically what they would get if they didn't act with honour. But now, it's just about getting them to act with honour, giving them 30 days, acting with honour, and that's what we did. So we issued them with all the legal documents, but obviously we're just waiting because the solicitor took all the paperwork and everything as well. And he's a good person, because we met Tracy's top people in Ireland, and they're top people, and they gave us this guy and told us to go to him because he's fed up with corruption and everything. So I think you'd do well to stick with him, because he'd probably expose a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Patrick, while you're on, because I know it's expensive from Europe to call into the show, tell people what you think the police has been up to recently, because Kevin doesn't know a lot of this.
Well, they're calling at friends' houses and searching friends' houses not once, maybe twice. They're going to extreme lengths of calling the people that I know. So it's ridiculous what they're doing. They're just walking in, searching their houses, and make sure I'm not there, you know.
Are you safe and well? Is anybody keeping you hostage?
No, nobody's keeping me hostage here. Now I can walk about and do my own thing.
Exactly.
Right,
so
and are you missing? Can you confirm if you're missing or not?
I'm not missing, because I made it clear on 3 occasions to constables of the police base and I in Lurgan that I am not missing. And they were well aware that they were speaking to me and called me by the first name. So I'm not missing.
Yeah, and we stated that you weren't missing anyway when we went there. We went to the doctors and the social workers, and we tried to get a lot of other things done, but we couldn't, because we had to go and meet top people in Belfast, and then we had to go and meet the solicitor and give him all the paperwork. And he even said he's going to look into the liens and everything, because it sounds very interesting. Even the police in Ireland that pulled us up, that was talking to us outside the doctors, they even said they're going to look into it because it's all interesting stuff, and they didn't even know half of it.
Well, when I was talking to that solicitor, he told me liens is, if you have liens, they don't work. They might work in America to get remedy for a parking ticket or something, you know. But he should have get me down on the liens, you know. But
eventually, Patrick, people will make it easier for people that don't understand liens. You know, your friend David knows liens. He sent me a document tonight, and I was flabbergasted. I've been going on with Kevin earlier on saying we need some basic information, and I've already now got that, and I forgot to mention that. But isn't it fantastic?
But I gave David a lot of stuff and a lot of information, and I gave him a lot of paperwork to do with it. So, and I gave him the 12-step guide to enforcing the liens as well. So,
but Patrick, for your own sanity and safety, and your own well-being, just think of this one. That lawyer is awesome. Tracy and Kevin, you know, they went out of their way to help. It's not going to happen overnight, but just think of this. One day, you'll be able to look at people and say, you know, stick your fingers up and say, I did it. And then, you know, maybe in the future, when you've got your kids back or when you've fought that argument, you could probably try and help other people with your knowledge.
Uh-huh. Well, I was just funny. I was looking through the internet there night there, and I seen a thing of the White Rabbit, you know. And if you put into YouTube recording commercial liens, it shows a judge in England who notarises commercial liens. So if you put in recording commercial liens, this will come up on YouTube. So, did you know about that, Kevin, did you?
Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah.
Yeah, I've got all that information. Every commercial lien link now, I've got it on Facebook under commercial lien / commercial salvage lien.
Yeah, no, I'll send you the American version of the one I've got. It's awesome, man. It's got everything broken down, literally everything. Like, it's unbelievable. When you see it, it's amazing. But, yeah, it says on the liens anyway, mostly applicable to the United States of America, but if that's the case, it don't really make no sense because most courts are commercial. It's a commercial lien, so commercial's worldwide, and to me, it's worldwide, simple as that.
No, well, Judge Curry will explain that next Friday, a week tomorrow, and you can come on the show every week, even Patrick, if he's got any time, and we can educate others on that one. Patrick, I was just thinking what Roger said on a show recently, and it's very important, this. The marriage between a man and a woman, when they've they've had sex, it's a very important bond, and no one should ever take that away. The state in Southern Ireland, I'll mention that country, they actually protect the marriage unit. Well, okay, some Southern Ireland people still steal kids, but they're doing it more in England and Wales and Scotland, because over here they don't give a shit about, pardon my language, about the marriage unit. And in Southern Ireland, like they do in Europe, in fact, every country in Europe is the same, but they make sure that the marriage unit is protected. Why don't we do that over here? I think that's why forced adoption in the UK, in Northern Ireland, Scotland and England is a sham. Where in Southern Ireland and Europe, they care about the families. Well, that's what just saying.
He said, right, so if you look it up into that, the family unit is vile, it shall not be broken, but that's what they do here, just the bracket family unit up,
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's something bigger than what everyone would imagine. It's something called Agenda 21. That's the whole plan, mass migration, breaking up family units.
Once the bracket family unit, the state takes control, you know what I mean? As Andy will tell you, Roger says, it's all about control. The state will say that when two people separate, that they have no agreement to about the family unit, you know what I mean? But it's not about separation, it's about who deserts the family unit,
Yeah, exactly.
And they should be protected, shouldn't they, Patrick?
Yeah, because whoever wants to desert the family unit can go into desertion, you know what I mean? It leaves the other spouse at home with the family, you know what I mean? The deserted spouse isn't entitled to anything, you know what I mean? Because she has abandoned her position in the family.
Just clarify a couple of points. Sorry, Kev, my mind's working overtime. When you was in Bluestone Ward, you wasn't given your diabetes medication. They tried to fool you, didn't they, with some other drug, but after that...
For the first couple of days, I refused to take it then. So because I was, what do you call it? I found myself sort of on balance, you know what I mean? I knew what I was taking was wrong, you know what I mean? So when I was urinating, it was pure orange, you know what I mean?
And you was never served ever any document to say you was under the Mental Health Act?
No, nothing. That's what I'm saying. I've asked that 1,000 times in there, and I've never ever received anything. You know what I mean? So I was told one time that I'd get the documents right away, and then he came back and says, "No, I can't give you the documents. You have to write for them." You know what I mean? But the documents are still fresh in the staff room. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
They were there.
Is it possible, Kevin? Do you mind, Kev? Yeah, while Patrick's on, it's costing me a lot of money to call. Can Julian, sorry to put you on the spot, Jules, to give an overview, psychology-wise, why the Dr. Sabawell, the GP, would lie to get, Patrick into a mental health institution on the basis of social workers wanting the kids to try and steal Patrick's property. Just give a quick overview, if you could, Jules, because I think your information is very good for Patrick to understand, why...
I'll just say one thing quickly. It begins with P and ends in T, and it's called profit.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes psychology is a powerful thing more than money.
So there's hi everyone, by the way. The sort of there's several kind of emphases that can be put on this. There's the emphasis of intimidation. Basically, a doctor can very soon lose their practice if they, if they're deemed as being threatened that they're going to be, losing their income, their all of their previous work, and the pressures that social workers turn around and put on these is no different than they would do a whistleblower, somebody who's reporting concern. They use intimidation on a regular basis. As Kevin quite rightly said, there's the profit side of things. There could be a payoff involved in this. There's a lot of money to be made out of each child. I think you're talking in the regions of £42,000 per child per year. So you're looking at considerable amounts here. So you don't know if there's payoff amounts. And likewise, there's also the side of the controlling emphasis on this. That if the doctor is narcissistic, is spiteful, enjoys turning around and putting people into these positions, you've even got an emphasis of somebody who's what's known as malignant, who enjoys this level of control and inflicting this kind of suffering on people. So there's several different reasons what it can be, but my bet is more so along the lines of the social services having this intimidatory role to coerce somebody and to pretty much make it clear to them that they won't be practicing this time next year if you don't turn around and do what we say.
Well, actually, that's correct. So Patrick, I have to mention the book at the moment on this because everybody has always gone back to one thing. Social workers are little Hitlers. Now, little Hitlers are from Big Hitler himself in the Second World War and the Lebensborn program. Lebensborn program was trying to split up the family unit like they're trying to do today, and just to promote a book that's for charity, and it's the 21st century Lebensborn, Children Screaming to be Heard. It's a book written by Timothy Spearman, my friend, but the proceeds go to Maggie Tuttle's charity of the same name, Children Screaming to be Heard, and they depict, the differences between what happened in them days to what's happened to the family unit these days. I wish Roger was on this call because he would explain it a lot more better than I am. But yeah, so Patrick, carry on, my friend.
No, you sort of hit the thing on the head there. It's sort of a social control, you know what I mean? You have to, up here when the family is free, you know what I mean? You have no control over it. That's why they want to put their fingers into the pie and have control over the family. That's why, as I call it, I had a preamble. I had a 4-page preamble of all the things that I had to do to keep the social workers happy. And one of the things was anger management, you know what I mean? And I never spoke to these people, and yet they sent me a preamble, I call it. There's lots of other things in it, but that's the thing that goes in my head there, that of anger management, you know what I mean? So it's all to do with the social workers, they are little Hitlers, and they want to control, and it's coming from the courts too, because Judge Meehan and again there, you know what I mean, that anybody will tell you who's involved in family law, like, it doesn't work. It always fares to social workers. It ends with social workers, you know what I mean? Whatever they put in the paper, that's it. And that's us,
Yeah, I know. Thank God for safe houses. Now, Maggie Tuttle was trying, for many years. She had Ofsted's agreement, but she couldn't seem to get the money raised, which is a shame. She wanted to give every child who wants to run away from care system, a legal team, a safe house in all parts of the UK, starting in London, but it kind of never materialised. We've got for families fleeing Britain, we've got Ian Josephs and John Hemmings, ex-MP now, trying to send people to Ireland, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, but there's no mechanism to help anyone. We're all trying our desperate ways to help, but there is no help. I think Kevin's, last thing, I think Kevin's idea of, putting the police and the courts under pressure, using their own rules against them, is probably the better way.
I think it is, Andy, because I still come back to the point, the day the social workers came into my house, my young boy clinging to me, he clinged to me like a as awful, It's something I'll never forget the rest of my days, And then the police pulling the child off me, and no way did the child want to go, for your income, you're not human when you do that, when you take a child from afar, when the child was happy with,
Well, that was actually a fault, wasn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, well, a lot of them ain't got morals anyway, have they? So they don't really care. They're just, like I said, they're just interested in the money.
Well, yeah. The other side of it as well is the people that are put in those positions. You've got specific social workers that are known as being, and it's narcissism to a T. There's no conscience, no emotional integrity, no compassion. They're cold, callous, ruthless, and they're put in those positions and promoted because of it. And you've even got, in my case, I had a social worker who was brought in just for my case. She left the moment the case was finished, and basically she turned around and used the very manipulations and psychological abuse that I was reporting my daughter was receiving from her mum, and this was coming in the courts, the same manipulations from the social worker, the same lies and the same behaviours, the same traits, the smirking, the duping delight, all of these things are coming from social workers. They're put in these positions for exactly that reason, that they can turn around and tear children away from a parent and not even lose a wink of sleep at night.
And that's why I said about using CPR ruling, because at the end of the day, it's all in there in black and white, yeah, and it's in the white book, yeah, what solicitors and barristers use and that, and basically, you'd be surprised how many remedies are in there. Like, you can do things like void orders if you think there's fraudulent behaviour in there. Like, there's so many things you can do, it's unbelievable. But what I do, I go through that civil procedures rules and I look at them all. And it's all criminal law. It's all I've got all the law dictionaries and everything. So I'm working with a great lady in London that deals with property courts and probate, like wills and stuff like that. So she's the top person I know of that knows how the court systems works, and she's the one that uses all the CPR rules against them and turns up at the court and asks for the files and makes sure she gets the files. If she doesn't, she calls the police, they come down to the court and they get the files for her, because they have to give you the files. It's just law, it's in the CPR ruling. If any party asks for the files, they have to give the party the files.
Now, can we, Patrick, you go first and then...
I'm going to cut off here now. There's things one night here. Do them rules apply here, because anytime we ask for rulings, you have to ask the judge,
What do you mean? No, you don't. The rules is what by all the courts go by, all the solicitors go by and everything. It's basically the law they use to do what they're doing against you. You just spin it around, have a look through the CPR ruling, see what one in there can help you, and just put that down and see if that works. That should go in your favour, and you should be... It's their law, so you're using their laws against them. So I can't see how they could possibly say no, because it's in black and white. They can't exactly rip it out the rule book and say, oh, I'm going to change that.
Yeah, Kevin, he's had to drop because of the credit, but we were trying to get him a document recently, and they said you have to, go back to the judge, or the judge in this case, that made the ruling before you can get a copy. In other words, ask for permission.
But no, but you don't.
No,
it's not even the judge you ask.
I was.
You don't go to the judge and ask for your